Hello again, my name is Gabe Zollner. This is the 28th of January 2018. Coming back from the gym this morning after playing racquetball, I heard one of the guests call into the radio station, and they made a rather interesting comment that I think needs to be shared with not only my viewers and subscribers, but pretty much all around the world. Now, we know that Robert Mueller has been investigating, trying to come up with whatever he can against President Donald Trump. And we know that he was head of the FBI when the Twin Towers were taken down. And I did a little bit of research, and I found that all of the data for about a 6-year period after the takedown of the Twin Towers vanished. That by itself is rather interesting, is it not? But we're not talking about the takedown of the Twin Towers. We're talking about Robert Mueller. Now, what do we know? Well, we know that he calls himself a Republican, but we also know that 98% of his donations have gone to the other side of the fence, not to the Republican fence, to the liberal side of the fence. So, is he a lot like some of the other rhinos? Does he sort of play both sides of the fence? I don't know. But what the viewer that called in said, to me, makes perfect sense. Why don't we take a look at Robert Mueller's emails prior to the election? Let's go back 6 months prior to the election, right up until after the election. And let's see if the data that's retrieved is somewhat reflective of what Peter Strzokes and his mistress discussed, which is the takedown of President Donald J. Trump, assuming that he wins. I gotta believe that Robert Mueller couldn't be any dirtier than he is. And I gotta believe that those emails will prove that. So why doesn't Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, take a look at those emails? You might want to send a letter to the White House. You might want to make a phone call to the White House. You might want to send the White House a couple of email messages and ask them why they don't look in to the text messages that Robert Mueller made. Wouldn't it be interesting to see who he interacted with, if he did any kind of dialogue with Peter Strzokes? I don't know, folks. But to me, that makes a whole lot of sense. And we know that NSA has everyone's data. So that shouldn't be too difficult to retrieve. What I don't understand is why that Attorney General, you know, the guy with the floppy ears? Well, I don't know, folks. If you all want to come back down to Alabama, I can get you some good spare ribs. Guy's a complete joke. It's almost comical watching him talk, listening to him. Can't even understand him. He sounds like he has marbles in his mouth. But I don't want to pick on Sessions. You know who the real problem is? Sessions' boss. Why isn't his boss doing anything about any of this? Why isn't Peter Strzokes and Lisa Page and James Comey arrested? Or what else did I hear? Oh yeah, I heard that James Comey lawyered up. And you know who his lawyer is? His lawyer is that same lawyer that James Comey gave all that information to. So that prevents that lawyer from testifying against James Comey. You see how these rats play a game? Absolutely disgusting. You let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it's a good idea that all of the emails of Robert Mueller are reviewed and looked at. I sure as hell think it's a good idea. And hopefully you do as well. Thanks for listening.